Ever feel like you're navigating a maze when it comes to like understanding Social Security benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Well, imagine like doing that for a living, but like
Eh,
a good maze where you're the expert guide.
right.
That's what we're diving into today. The world of benefits advice work. We've got a treasure trove of insights from RoleCatcher to help us understand this career.
Yeah, it's fascinating because we're not just talking about like crunching numbers and filling out forms. This
Right.
is about, you know, advocating for people during some of the most challenging moments in their lives.
Okay, so level one of the maze.
Hmm.
What exactly does a benefits advice worker do?
Okay, so think of it this way. The Social Security system is incredibly complex. In fact, RoleCatcher cites a study that found that nearly 70% of applicants for a certain benefit didn't even know they were eligible for it.
Wow, that's where a benefits advice worker steps in. They're like translators, helping individuals understand their rights, navigate the system effectively, and access the resources they deserve. Wow, 70%. That's a shocking statistic. It really highlights the need for this kind of support. It's not just about knowing the rules, though, right? It sounds like there's a significant human element to this work as well.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher really emphasizes that. Benefits advice workers are often working with individuals facing a whole range of challenges. Job loss, illness, family breakdown, you name it. So it's about more than just paperwork. It's about providing emotional support, guidance, and sometimes even like advocacy within a complex system.
So it's a blend of social work, legal knowledge, and maybe a bit of detective work thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, you could say that. For instance, they might be helping someone access disability benefits, which often involves gathering medical records, coordinating with healthcare providers, and even like representing the client's case in front of a review board.
Wow, that sounds incredibly demanding, emotionally and intellectually. So where do benefits advice workers actually do all of this? Is it all fluorescent lights and cubicles?
Not at all. One of the most interesting things about this career path is the variety of work environments. You might find benefits advice workers in hospitals, community centers, government agencies, even schools. They're embedded in places where people are likely to need their support.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's be real, dealing with such sensitive situations day in and day out has to be tough. What does Rollcatcher say about the challenges of this career path?
They're very upfront about it. This isn't a 9 to 5 job where you can just shut off at the end of the day. Benefits advice workers are exposed to a lot of emotional strain, bureaucratic roadblocks, and, the weight of their clients' struggles. It can be emotionally draining, especially if you're working with limited resources.
That sounds like a heavy load to carry.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, what kind of person thrives in this environment? What are the rewards that balance out those challenges?
That's the fascinating thing. Despite the difficulties, many benefits advice workers find this career incredibly rewarding.
So it's incredibly rewarding, but like how?
Mm.
What exactly motivates benefits advice workers to face, those challenges day after day?
Well, RoleCatcher found that many professionals in this field are driven by like a strong sense of social justice. They see firsthand the systemic inequalities that people face, and they find deep satisfaction in helping individuals, navigate those barriers and access the support they deserve.
That makes sense. It's one thing to care about social justice in theory, but quite another to witness those inequalities firsthand and be able to make a tangible difference in people's lives.
Exactly. There are stories from RoleCatcher's interviews about, benefits advice workers who've helped families avoid eviction, secure life-saving medical treatment, or escape domestic violence situations. These are incredibly powerful outcomes that speak to the profound impact this work can have.
Those stories are incredibly moving. It sounds like it takes a special kind of person to do this work well.
So beyond that passion for social justice, what other qualities are essential for success in this field?
Well, you need a good head on your shoulders, of course.
Right.
A strong understanding of Social Security policies, benefit programs, and eligibility criteria is crucial. But it's not just about memorizing regulations. Rollcatcher stresses the importance of critical thinking and problem-solving skills. You're constantly analyzing complex situations, interpreting policies, and finding creative solutions to help clients navigate a system that can feel like a maze.
So it's like being a cross between a social worker and a legal eagle. You need that blend of empathy
Right.
and analytical thinking. Exactly. And you can't forget about communication skills. You're interacting with people from all walks of life. clients, colleagues, government officials, each with their own communication styles and levels of understanding.
I imagine active listening is crucial, especially when you're dealing with clients who are like stressed, overwhelmed, or even distrustful of the system.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher gives a great example.
Right.
Imagine a client who's recently lost their job and is applying for unemployment benefits for the first time. They're likely feeling a mix of anxiety, shame, and confusion. A skilled benefits advice worker will approach that conversation with empathy, listening attentively to not only the client's words but also their underlying emotions and concerns.
It sounds like building trust is a huge part of this work. Clients need to feel confident that you're not just like processing paperwork, but truly advocating for their best interest.
Precisely. And building that trust often requires going above and beyond. For instance, RoleCatcher highlights the importance of cultural sensitivity. A benefits advice worker might be working with clients from diverse cultural backgrounds who may have different communication styles, family structures, or even perceptions of social services.
That's such a critical point. It reminds me of a quote from RoleCatcher's guide. Cultural competence isn't just a box to tick. It's about approaching each client with curiosity, respect, and a willingness to understand their unique perspective.
That's a powerful way to put it. It's about recognizing that everyone comes to the table with their own experiences and perspectives.
So we've established that this career demands a blend of empathy, analytical skills, and cultural competence. But what about the practicalities? Let's say someone is interested in becoming a benefits advice worker. What does the career path look like?
RoleCatcher provides a really helpful roadmap.
Yeah.
Typically, it starts with a bachelor's degree in a related field, such as social work, psychology, or human services.
That makes sense. You need that like solid foundation to understand the complexities of social systems and human behavior, but a degree is just the beginning, right? What else does RoleCatcher recommend for building a successful career in this field?
Yeah, experience is key. RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of internships, volunteer work, and entry-level positions in related fields. It's about, getting your hands dirty, applying your knowledge in real-world settings, and building a network of contacts.
So it's not just what you know, but who you know.
To some extent, yes.
Right.
Networking is crucial in any field, but especially in social work where collaboration is key.
Right.
Building relationships with colleagues, mentors, and community partners can open doors, provide valuable insights, and even lead to job opportunities down the line.
That makes sense. It's about tapping into that network for support, guidance, and even referrals. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The job market. What's the outlook for aspiring benefits advice workers?
The good news is it's promising. RoleCatcher cites a growing demand for social workers in general, driven by an aging population and an increasing awareness of mental health and social service needs. Benefits advice workers with their, specialized knowledge are particularly well positioned for this growth.
That's encouraging to hear. So it's a career path with both heart and hopefully some solid job security. But we've talked a lot about the human side of this work. What about the tech side? How is technology shaping the role of a benefits advice worker?
That's a great question. RoleCatcher actually dedicates a whole section to this.
Okay.
Technology is becoming increasingly integrated into the social work field, and it's changing the way benefits advice workers connect with clients, manage their caseloads, and even advocate for policy changes.
Okay, give us some examples. How are benefits advice workers actually using technology in their day-to-day work?
Well, for starters, many organizations are moving towards online platforms for benefit applications and case management. This can be a game changer for clients who may have difficulty accessing services in person due to mobility issues, work schedules, or even just the intimidation factor of navigating a bureaucratic system.
So technology can help bridge that gap and make services more accessible to a wider range of people.
Exactly. And for benefits advice workers, these online platforms can streamline their workflows, allowing them to manage their caseloads more efficiently and track client progress more effectively.
That sounds like it frees up more time for the human element of this work. The face-to-face interactions, the emotional support, the personalized guidance that technology can't replicate.
You hit the nail on the head. Technology is a valuable tool, but it's not a replacement for human connection. In fact, RoleCatcher emphasizes that the most successful benefits advice workers will be those who can leverage technology to enhance, not replace, their human skills.
That's a really important point. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listeners who are considering a career as a benefits advice worker?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. It's it's a career that demands a unique blend of head and heart.
Hmm.
You need that intellectual curiosity to master the complexities of the social security system, but you also need that deep well of empathy to connect with clients on a human level and advocate for their needs with passion and understanding.
It's about finding that balance between the analytical and the emotional, the practical and the profound. And for those who are drawn to that kind of challenge, who find fulfillment in empowering others and fighting for social justice, this could be an incredibly rewarding and impactful career path.
I couldn't agree more.
And on that inspiring note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of benefits advice work. We hope you found this exploration insightful and that you'll continue to join us as we uncover more fascinating career paths right here on the Deep Dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.